Hi, everyone. This is Jessica, and welcome back to 5 Minute English Practice. Let me ask you something. What if the key to speaking English naturally has been in your kitchen all along? This morning, join me in my kitchen. I'm making a warm apple pie, and while I bake, we'll learn simple, everyday kitchen vocabulary together. Instead of just memorizing words, you'll connect them to real actions and real moments. And that's how they truly stay in your memory. It's a quiet weekend morning, sunlight shining through the window, and it feels like the perfect time to bake something sweet for breakfast. So I walk over to the counter and take out a cutting board. A cutting board is the flat board we use to cut food. It protects the counter and gives us a clean, safe space to prepare ingredients. Next, I pick up a knife. The knife is sharp, so I hold it carefully. Then I place 3 red apples on the cutting board and begin to slice them. To slice means to cut something into thin pieces. As I move the knife slowly up and down, I can hear the soft, steady sound of the blade touching the board. It's simple, but somehow very calming. As soon as the apples are sliced, I transfer them into a large mixing bowl. A mixing bowl is a deep bowl where we combine ingredients. The apple slices fall gently into the bowl, and already the kitchen smells fresh and slightly sweet. Now that the apples are ready, it's time to add some flavor. I open the cabinet and take out a measuring cup. A measuring cup helps us measure the exact amount of an ingredient. Cooking is a bit like a science experiment. If we add too much or too little, the final result changes. Carefully, I pour 1 cup of sugar over the apples. The white sugar spreads across the slices like a soft blanket. After that, I reach for a measuring spoon. A measuring spoon is smaller than a measuring cup and is used for small amounts. I measure 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon is brown, warm, and slightly spicy. As I sprinkle it into the bowl, the smell becomes stronger and richer. Suddenly, the kitchen feels cozy, almost like autumn. With all the ingredients in the bowl, it's time to mix them together. I pick up a wooden spoon and begin to stir. To stir means to move ingredients around in a circular motion. Slowly and gently, I stir until every apple slice is covered with sugar and cinnamon. Stirring may seem like a small action, but it brings everything together. It turns separate ingredients into one mixture. Now let's move on to the dough. Dough is the soft mixture we use to make bread or pie crust. Before I start, I sprinkle a little flour onto the counter so the dough doesn't stick. Then I take out a rolling pin. A rolling pin is a long, round tool that helps us flatten dough. I roll it forward and backward, pressing gently. Forward and backward again and again until the dough becomes thin and even. The movement is smooth and steady, almost rhythmic. Once the dough is ready, I carefully lift it and place it into a pie dish. A pie dish is a round container used for baking pies. I press the dough lightly into the corners so it fits perfectly. Then I pour the apple mixture from the mixing bowl into the crust. The apples fill the dish beautifully. To finish this step, I use a spatula to spread the filling evenly. A spatula helps us lift, spread, or smooth food. Now everything is ready for baking. I open the oven door carefully. The oven is the large appliance we use to bake food with dry heat. Before placing the pie inside, I check the temperature. It has already been preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. To preheat means to heat the oven before putting the food in, which helps it cook evenly. Gently, I place the pie inside the oven and close the door. Then I set the timer for 45 minutes. A timer helps us keep track of time while cooking. Baking, more than anything, teaches patience. And so we wait. While the pie is baking, I take a moment to look around my kitchen. I see the refrigerator, where we keep food cold and fresh. I see the stove where we cook using heat. There's the sink where we wash dishes and vegetables. On the stove, there's a frying pan, and next to it, a pot with a lid. A lid covers the pot and keeps the heat inside. In the drawer, I notice a whisk. A whisk is used to mix ingredients quickly and add air, especially when we beat eggs or cream. When you pause and observe, you realize that everything in this room has a name. And when you know those names in English, you feel more confident. Imagine walking into your kitchen tomorrow morning and describing your actions in English. I'm opening the refrigerator. I'm turning on the stove. I'm washing a cup in the sink. I'm stirring soup in a pot. These simple sentences may seem small, but they build natural fluency step by step. Learning vocabulary this way is powerful because it connects words with real actions. When you hold a knife and say, knife, your brain creates a stronger memory. When you stir and say, stir, your body supports the meaning of the word. English becomes part of your daily life instead of just something in a textbook. After a while, I hear the gentle ring of the timer. The pie is ready. I open the oven door and feel a wave of warm air on my face. Before touching the dish, I put on oven mitts. Oven mitts are thick gloves that protect our hands from heat. Carefully, I take the pie out and place it on a cooling rack. A cooling rack allows air to circulate underneath so the pie can cool evenly. The pie is golden brown, and the smell of baked apples and cinnamon fills the entire kitchen. It feels comforting and peaceful. I let it cool for a few minutes before cutting a slice. And in that quiet moment, I realized something. This morning wasn't just about baking. It was about learning in a natural, meaningful way. You don't need long vocabulary lists. You don't need complicated exercises. You simply need awareness. Notice what you touch. Notice what you use. Say the words out loud. So tomorrow, when you step into your kitchen, try this small practice. Touch an object and name it in English. Describe your actions in simple sentences. I am cutting. I am mixing. I am baking. I am washing. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. There's no pressure and no rush. Confidence grows from repetition and real experience. The more you connect English with your everyday routine, the more natural it becomes. And one day, you won't search for words anymore. They'll already be there, just like the tools waiting quietly in your kitchen drawer. This is Jessica. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Enjoy your apple pie. Enjoy your learning journey, and I'll see you in the next episode of 5 Minute English Practice. Happy cooking and happy learning.